Hi, welcome to the Destin Business Forum, brought to you by the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Amy Perry, and our guest today is Julio Fernandez. He is the Vice President of Search Marketing, DestinWebPages.com. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. We are going to find out a lot of stuff about computers, searches, all the things that I wish I knew about, but admittedly, I don't. I wish I knew more.
It's changing so fast. It changes daily.
Yes, yeah. That's why I haven't learned it yet, because I knew you were going to be on the show and I just waited. Let's get to a little bit of your background. Can you just give me an overview, and I'll jump in with questions?
All right. Well, so I was the business manager at my college newspaper, and back in the early 90s, before we had websites, and then I realized that, well, why don't we get college newspapers online? And at the same time, I had an internship at the Miami Herald on the print side of the newspaper.
Okay.
And I set up a company to help college newspapers go from print to the web. And then from there, it actually became a full-time job where I left the Miami Herald, and then I was concentrating on helping college newspapers get online.
So while you're in college, you start your own business?
Yes.
Wow, I'm embarrassed I didn't do any of that. But okay, then what?
Well, so then I realized that, this is no longer a hobby, this is a real business.
Sure.
So I left the Miami Herald, and companies were interested in what we were doing. We sold the company, and we were able to go public in the .com years of the late 90s.
Ah, those .com years.
.com years.
But you sold.
Right. So I was still a member of the parent company where we went public, and then we realized that, well, now we have an opportunity to create a content network and a syndication network and an advertising network for college newspapers. But that's the time when search engines were changing the game, and I realized, well, this little company named Google is going to change everything. So we actually sold the company in 2000, and then that's when I joined Oracle, the largest database company.
Okay, just in talking with you briefly here, I realized that you realize what's coming. You can kind of see the what's coming down the pike, so to speak. I mean, you just have that talent.
Right, that's the opportunity, that's the advantage of my job, that basically what I get to do every day is to try to figure out where the search engines are going.
What's next?
And what's next, so that I can help my clients understand this is what we need to do. And what we have to remember is that if we think about 10 years ago,
Sure.
you had to decide, am I using a PC or a Mac? And then from there you had to decide, what browser am I going to use? Am I going to use Netscape Navigator, or am I going to use Internet Explorer?
Right.
Then once you had that, you had to decide, what search engine am I going to use? Am I going to go to Yahoo, which really wasn't a search engine, it was just an index. You would tell Yahoo, I want to look at sports, and then from there you would say, I would like to look at football, and then from there you would pick the Dolphins. So you were not searching, you were finding information there. But Google and all of the different apps that we have today are really changing the way that we search.
Sure.
I mean, today I can say something like, who's the president of the United States? And basically the phone understands that question and would give me the answer. And in the first generation of search engines that were voice activated, they would just have one answer. So like today, I can ask an Apple iPhone that question, and it would tell me that. But in the second generation, I can have a follow-up question, and the device understands. So I can say, for instance, how old is he?
And they know that
And they know that I'm talking about the president, and I can actually go and say, who is his wife? And then the phone is going to understand that. So the way that we can relate it in our community is that now I can tell the device, tell me an Italian restaurant near me. And it would understand. But what about if we say, tell me an Italian restaurant near me that is family friendly, that takes a specific credit card? And the device would know that. But if I own the restaurant and I don't tell the search engines we're good for kids and we take credit cards, the engine doesn't know that, and then you're not going to be the answer that the device is going to tell you.
So it only knows what you tell it. I think that's frustrating for some of us business owners, or for me, because I don't know what to tell it. I don't know why it doesn't work. I'm number one on Google search today. Yesterday I was number 5. Tomorrow, who knows what I'll be, because I just don't understand it. So you help your clients understand.
Well, we help the clients understand what are the type of signals that we need to send to the search engines. Mm-hmm. No agency should tell you, I'm going to guarantee that you're going to be number 1, because nobody knows that, first of all. And second, 10 years ago, we had something that we used to call the golden triangle, which is all of the websites that were on top. And it was actually a golden triangle because you had the free results over here and you had the paid results over here. So the eye was actually doing this. It doesn't matter anymore, because when you look for like places to stay in Destin, and I look for places to stay in Destin, both of us are going to get different answers.
That's right. That's right.
So it's no longer about being number one. It's about understanding the signals and the relationship of the influencers and the people that also like your page. That's why it is so important for people to leave a review and say this is a good website, or for you to understand that people are saying, I did not like the service here.
Right, and read it, understand it.
Right.
You know, so many things happen by word of mouth too. So if I'm looking for something and somebody's told me about, oh, this doctor is good, or this restaurant, or whatever, I'll ask, and then I will go do my Google search,
Right.
To find out. All right, I want to get back to a little bit of your background because it's so impressive. Let's pick up with you working at Oracle. What did you do there?
So at Oracle, I was director of global marketing, and being such a large company, basically they have millions of web pages in different languages. So how do we use technology to make sure that I can send the right email to the right person at the right time? So we had a global team creating content, and that's what we did. And every time that Oracle would send an email to somebody, it's because you requested that email.
Gotcha.
But if you already own a product, it doesn't make sense for me to send you an email like, hey, buy this product.
Right.
So what we would do is that if we knew your product and we knew your company, we knew what type of maybe events you should come to, or what was the new product that you should buy. So that's what Oracle does.
All right, so you're 8 years at Oracle, and then you move on to, what was next? Google?
So from Oracle and a lot of the enterprise experience, I realized that I need more of the agency experience. So at Oracle, I had the opportunity to be one of the founding members of the Google Technology Council. So basically it was 14 of us that every quarter we would meet with Google to help them understand how we would use their products and services. And we usually would see something that Google has been working on even 2 years before it was announced to the public.
Okay.
And we had an opportunity to play with it. So I was there representing Oracle, but it was my counterpart from IBM, HP was there, Intel was there, Adobe was there. So a lot of the important large enterprise clients.
Good.
And we would work with Google so that they could create better products that everybody could use. But I needed the agency side. So in 2008, I went from Oracle to Ogilvy, which is one of the largest advertising companies in the world.
And how long were you at Ogilvy? Ogilvy and
Made it. Yeah. So I was with them for 4 years. Then it was a great opportunity to work with global clients again. But at the time, my wife is from the area, and I had the opportunity to visit here. And we decided that,
you wanted a little bigger market, right?
Well, yeah. So we bought a house here in 2009, and we set up some of the websites that we're using today, and we moved to the area.
Okay, tell me about some of the websites. Oh, wait a minute. You were invited to go to London too, weren't you?
Yeah, so last year, after I decided that I'm no longer going to be with Ogilvy, I want to have my own agency and help the community. One of the first things that we did is Samsung put together a great program where let's invite 75 people from all over the world to come to the Olympics, experience the Olympics, and talk about everything that's going on, because Samsung is one of the official partners of the London Games. So I was there, and it was a great opportunity to go to the different games and use their Samsung devices. They never said you have to say good things about the new Galaxy S3. But if you
they just give you the
phone,
product and let you use
right,
it, yeah.
and then you go to the different events. I mean, it's just such an amazing experience. And then everybody comes back, and then everybody gets to see the content that you wrote, the tweets that you sent, the videos that you did, and then all of it related back to Samsung.
How amazing is that? Okay, and you founded DestinWebPages.com and SocialShelfSpace.com.
Yes. Social Shelf Space, a lot of people ask me about the name, and it's in the old days, when we were talking about search engine optimization, we were calling it, what is your search shelf space? Think of it like when you go to the grocery store.
Like, is it eye level?
Is it eye level?
Is
and
it
like,
at your feet?
is this soft drink over here? Is it this soft drink? So in search, we were calling it the same thing. What is your search shelf space? So where were you ranking?
So much, yeah.
But then I realized a couple of years ago that it's not only about in search, it's about social. So that's why we created our company, Social Shelf Space, because we want to make sure that if you have different social channels, each one has an opportunity to rank. So when I look for your law office, I could see your website, but I could also find your YouTube channel. I can also find your Twitter account. I can also find all of the different things that you do. Each one has an opportunity to rank.
Put them all together.
Right.
I'm learning so much, and I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to go through this quickly. I want to know about Google Glass.
Google Glass is a product that was announced a year ago, and is kind of like wearing glasses, but it's a piece of metal, and then you have a computer on the side, and then you have a little piece of glass on one eye only.
Okay.
So think about like when you're driving, you know that you always have your mirror on this side, but you only look at it when you need it. That's what this device can do, and it's voice activated. Now, being Colombian and being Spanish being my first language, I was always concerned, like, is it going to understand what I'm asking? Is it going to understand my commands
accents.
and the
Sure.
different accents? But it's actually pretty clever, and you can do things like give me driving directions or help me find something, and then the device knows. But now you have a little screen. So that's why it's so important to make sure that your business is sending the right signals, because you want to be that one result.
Okay, so let me make sure that the non-computer person has understands that. If you go on just a computer and do a Google search for, let's say, attorneys, a bunch of them are going to pop up.
Right.
If you have the Google Glass and say, I need a lawyer, I got a ticket or whatever, DUI, just one is going to pop up on Google Glass.
Google has something that they call the knowledge graph, which is understanding the properties of every item and the relationship between items. So for instance, when we say something like tiger, are we talking about Tiger the animal, or are we talking about Tiger Woods?
Gotcha.
But Google understands who you are. If we know that you're at a golf tournament, or if you know that you're
And you say
already
tiger.
and you say target, Google automatically understands what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
Now the device also has GPS, and we know locations. So for instance, if you're saying like I need to find an attorney near me, that's one
It's gonna
signal,
put you in.
versus attorneys that my friends like. That's another type of signal, and it's
Gotcha.
going to give you that information.
All right, I'm sorry to be rushing you, but I want to get to this because this is the coolest little thing. Tell me this is an NFC tag, right?
Right, near field communication. It's just a little sticker, but it's a sticker that we can put a lot of information behind the sticker. So we've seen QR codes, quick response codes, when you can scan the code and then something happens. You go to a web page, you get information. Now with NFC, they're really popular in many countries. We can put all their information in here. So for instance, if you want to buy a movie and you look at the DVD, you can take your phone that's NFC capable, you tap it, and then on your phone you can see like a 3-minute preview of the movie before you buy it.
So I would think that something like this, you put information about, I have a law firm, I put information about my law
Right.
firm, or a doctor, they put information about their specialties and what they can do. Can you put this on your business card?
Yes, at the CES conference last year in Las Vegas, we already saw a lot of companies that were having NFC business cards. So when you tap it, you would get information on it. But what about in our community, what if you're a real estate agent? Why don't we have that little
Yes.
sticker at the door, so when people come over here, they tap it, they take
Okay,
with
but-
them a 360 tour, information about the schools, a map of the area, and then you just take the information with you on the device.
Julio, I am out of time, but I've learned so much. You also do our social networking
Yes,
class
so when I became
Thursdays.
a member of the chamber 2 years ago, one of the things that we saw that we should do is a social media committee. And every month we have a meeting, and the members just tell us, hey, this month let's talk about Facebook. This month let's talk about Google+. So I would encourage everybody who's a member of the chamber to participate in
do
the
that.
social media committee.
Because you're going to learn a lot. I mean, I still have pages that I wanted to ask you. I hope you come back and talk to me and educate me and the viewers, because this is just this is so interesting for somebody like me who doesn't know anything
And
about
it's changing
computers.
every day.
I know, that's the crazy thing. All right, I'm going to get to the upcoming events. Thursday, June 27th, Business After Hours is sponsored by the Premier Property Group. The location is Grand Boulevard in Miramar Beach. Tuesday, July 9th, Leaders in Business Lunch. The location is Destin Middle School, and we're going to have networking games and fun, Shane promises. On Saturday, August 17th, we have the second annual paddle at the porch. That's sponsored by Boat and the Back Porch. Sponsorships are still available, and that is a lot of fun. I hope you will come out and join us. See you next time.